let's start with a Fulton County jail. So you surrendered yourself. You were arrested at the Fulton County jail. Can you tell us what that process was like? Like from the moment you walked into that building, what happened?
Yeah, it's absolutely ridiculous that any of us, especially President Trump, had to go through that experience. Typically, in circumstances like this, I mean, none of us who are the lawyers have, any criminal history. I mean, we're all members of the bar, and I'm in good standing with my bar. And we had my lawyers had negotiated a consent bond, which means that we agreed on the amount and the terms. The judge signed off on it. So the fact that I even had to go in and get arrested, in my view, was just the Fulton County District Attorney trying on purpose an intimidation and humiliation tactic. And so I was again determined to have resolve and say, I am unbothered by this. You are not going to break me. You are not going to get that humiliation that you want. And so I prayed very sincerely before that day, and knew that when I went in, whatever I was facing, then I was going to meet that with the resolve that I had anticipated. But nothing really prepares you for going in and actually getting arrested. I had been in jails previously for clients when I practiced as a prosecutor and also in criminal law in Colorado. So that in an odd sense was helpful to me because it wasn't totally unfamiliar territory going in to meet with clients. But it's very different being in custody and realizing, my phone, my Apple Watch, everything I had to leave behind. And so, walking in, the female guard who's from the Fulton County Sheriff's Department, she was very kind, and she said, "Listen, I'm going to stick by you this whole time. Just keep looking ahead and don't worry about anything." And it was, Liz, and this isn't even hyperbole, it was like a movie where you see, these prisoners that walk down a straight hall, and there are so many people in cells that are clamoring and jeering at them. I mean, I was catcalled, and, people said all kinds of rude things that I would never even, repeat publicly. And then I was brought into a pod that was actually the general population with men that were there just walking around. So of course, this feels like a very threatening environment. And when I was getting fingerprinted, a fight actually broke out, and I had to stay behind two of the female guards to make sure that everything was okay. And so again, I think that this was just all about intimidation. It was about a foretaste of, this is what's going to happen to you if you are conservative and you're willing to represent someone named Donald Trump. And so it was wild. And I can't believe that I went through that. And the sheriff at the very end, when she was processing my bond paperwork to leave, she handed me a copy and said, "Would you like to keep this?" And I said, "Yes." And it's literally paperwork that says proof of incarceration. And I thought, I can't imagine that it has come to a day where I now have proof of being a political prisoner. But this is where we're at in America.